Hi, and welcome to Wellness Master Q&A. I'm your host, Jason Cronan. And today we have a special guest, holistic wellness practitioner, Roy Hamilton. Roy Hamilton is a registered certified reflexologist, a traditional UC Reiki master / teacher, Kundalini Reiki master, certified aromatherapist, and tarot reader in Nashville, Tennessee. Let's welcome Roy Hamilton to the show. Hi, Roy. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you, Jason?
I'm doing awesome. Welcome to Wellness Master Q&A. I know our listeners are looking forward to hearing you speak about your wellness journey. I'd like to start by asking, what drew you to become a holistic practitioner?
I was in a little store one time about probably 17, 18 years ago, and someone was talking about Reiki, and I had no idea what that was. So I scheduled a session with her, thought, hey, I'll give this a try, and that was the beginning. I loved it, and I thought, I need to know more, I need to do more.
Wow, that's excellent. And I'm actually Reiki 1 certified too, but I know you're way out there with the Reiki. You have a lot of knowledge. What drew you to becoming a Reiki master, and what is a Reiki master for our listeners out there?
Well, what I explain to my students is Reiki levels 1 and 2 are all about doing healing for yourself and others, whether it's in person, distance, but then Reiki Master goes further into living Reiki and walking in Reiki yourself. So that's all. Being a master is all about you and changing your life.
Nice. And what's the difference of the two different types of Reiki masters you are? I saw that you were a Reiki master for 2 different styles. I'm not familiar with those styles of Reiki.
Well, the traditional is the Usui Reiki. Started with Dr. Usui. That's where I got my first training from, did my master in that. There have been different kinds of Reiki added through the years. One that I was familiar with was or interested in is the Kundalini Reiki. So I added that, the master program to that. And Kundalini Reiki is all about working on the fire between your chakras, between the root and the crown. It's about building that fire of life.
Oh, nice. Very nice. That's excellent. I know I've done Reiki in the past, and you do Reiki circles still. Is that correct?
Well, I haven't this year, but yes, I want to start those back as soon as it's safe to do so.
That's great. And if anyone doesn't know, but Roy is like the jack of all trades of holistic therapies. He has a lot of background. We're going to touch base on that in the show today. And you're also a reflexologist. Give us a rundown of why you became a reflexologist and what it is to become a therapist as a reflexologist.
So actually the same story. I met someone that was a reflexologist. I didn't know what it was several years ago. So I started talking to them, did some research on it and became interested in that. It's a way of healing that works through the feet and the hands. And so you do have to be licensed to do that. There's schools that you can go to, and you have to hold a state license, kind of like a massage therapist, to practice that.
And with reflexology, what are the main primary parts of the body you focus on?
Feet and hands mostly. The feet are the most common. There's also reflexology of the ears and of the face. Oh, now, in Tennessee, there's some licensing issues with that, but a reflexology license in Tennessee only allows you to work with the feet and hands.
Okay, that makes, I guess, different state to state, the rules are a little bit different.
Yes.
And as a Reiki master, do you find that Reiki helps you with your other practices? Does that help you with emotional centering for being a reflexologist, or do you combine the two together?
Reiki Master helps me with everything. It keeps me centered, it keeps me grounded, it keeps me focused, keeps the emotions in control. So, I once I became a master, that became my focus on how I live my life and how I do the rest of my practice.
That's great. And I also see that you're an aromatherapist. What is it like aromatherapist? I know of a different massage therapist who's aroma, but what is your take on aromatherapist, and what are the wellness benefits for that?
So an aromatherapist, a trained aromatherapist, and I got my training out of a school in Canada, can actually do a consultation service, sit down with a client, talk about emotional, spiritual, physical healing needs. It's another holistic modality. And I can work with them and create blends of different essential oils to work on the things that they want to work on, and then teach them how to use it.
That's great because like some of the oils can calm you, some of them can lift you up, some can like level you out.
Exactly. And some actually help with physical health conditions.
That's great. And what kind of physical conditions do you see primarily in your office for either service that you offer, and and what age group and that you see the most in your facility?
Oh, wow. So the age group, probably the 30 to 40-year-old range is what most of my clients are. And their needs vary. I get a lot of, with the Reiki, I get a lot of people that are looking for stress relief, anxiety relief, um, people that are wanting to relax a little bit and stress, get rid of some stress. I do see quite a few cancer patients. And with the reflexology, it's more of an overall, it varies with that because it actually a clinical modality and can work on any of those conditions.
That's great. Yeah, I know when I've been to Roy for reflexology before, and the oils and all the different types of products you have available, I've always felt better. I highly recommend, if you're in the area of Nashville, definitely look up Roy Hamilton. That's for sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But also, what are the problems people come to your office for? What is like, do you think it's a mental, physical, emotional combination, or is it just sometimes physical is causing all those problems to come down, like the mind-body connection? I'm just curious about that.
Well, I believe in holistic healing, and I believe you cannot have one without the other. You can't be just physically ill or emotionally ill. They all come together as a package. And most of the time, even a physical illness is going to be based on an emotional illness or a spiritual illness. Stress, that's an emotional illness, really. It lets your guard down, it lets your defenses down, and it allows you to become physically ill. So the modalities I work with are all holistic modalities to fix all of those.
And I'm assuming there's very small side effects. There's really no side effects at that. Is that correct?
There are no side effects, no.
Excellent. And you can't go wrong trying it out. That's what's excellent.
That's right.
Can kids benefit from reflexology, Reiki, aromatherapy, anything like that?
Oh, absolutely. A little more cautious on the aromatherapy with kids. You need to make sure they're not sensitive to the oils and so, things like that, because their skin can be more sensitive. But for Reiki and reflexology, yeah, there's no issues with kids.
Great, that's excellent. And also, throughout your training in business, have you dealt with any anxiety or ups and downs that may have caused you to have to think and use your own modalities, or is that maybe what got you into the modalities? The reason why I ask is because a lot of listeners are going to be focusing on anxiety, depression, and stressful lifestyles, and maybe your story can help them, as well as your services can help them with what's going on internally, mentally, and physically.
I definitely use these modalities on myself. If I feel myself getting stressed out, my anxiety raising, I can do Reiki on myself. If I feel maybe a cold coming on or sinus, I can do Reiki and the reflexology to work on those, those pulse points or those reflex points that would help with a sinus or a cold. So yeah, I use all of those on myself.
And do you feel, what is your definition of total wellness? I always ask people this that I've interviewed. I like to get their point on it, because I know there is a description, but I like to know what your description of total wellness would be for somebody that's listening.
So total wellness would be being in total balance, the way our bodies were designed to be. And that includes keeping your mental, emotional health in check, keeping your spiritual health in check, watching the toxins, watching what you eat. Our bodies have an amazing way to heal itself. And these modalities assist in that. but you also have to assist in watching what you actually put into your body and what you're exposed to every
That's a great definition. That's a lot better than what I had. That's
day.
excellent. Roy also is a tarot card reader. Tell us more about tarot card reading. A lot of people are probably interested in hearing about that from a wellness practitioner.
Well, I enjoy reading tarot for people. It helps them solve some problems in their life, answer some questions for their lives. The things that I tell people are, it's a way of reading your energy at this moment. Anything that comes up in the cards, you can change. It's not predicting your future or your fate and saying, you can't get around things. It just helps you, gives you some direction in life.
Okay, that's great. And what does a person need to do to get a good tarot reading? Is there anything to prepare for or anything like that?
Well, the main thing is just to be honest, honest with yourself and honest with me of what you're wanting to know and what it is you're working on. Because chances are the cards are going to tell me the truth. And if you're kind of holding back, we're going to know about it.
Understandable. I had a tarot card reading before moving to Tennessee, and actually a lot of it actually did come through. It was amazing how I still have a list of the cards that came out. Some weren't the greatest, but a little scary at times. But I hope you're definitely your reading should be a lot better, hopefully. Now, what services do you offer that would significantly help others at your store? I know your store is filled with different products, and I'm actually wearing the bracelet. I have the chakra. I have the chakra bracelet on, and I'll have the hematite bracelet on.
Hematite, yeah.
From Mariah's shop, and I have many other stones and everything. I get gifts for myself there as well as other people all the time. So what in your store, can you explain your store a little bit and what's there and what people can get online and in person?
Wow. Well, our store has grown a lot in the last couple of years. We started off with making aromatherapy products, handmade soaps, creams, lotions, and we still have all that. We make a lot of candles, and then it has also moved into a metaphysical store, and we've got stones, crystals, incense, books, tarot cards, items to help with magical practices. So it's a large store. And just about everything we have in the store is available online. We're still adding to our website all the time, but.
And that's great for our listeners that are not in the area. You can order all the products that Roy has at his store from online. And that's the great aspect of it, is that you're national. Are you international yet?
Yes. We
wow.
do ship to Canada and parts of Europe.
That is great. That's really good. I've seen Roy grow very significantly over the years. That's really excellent. Also, your healing center. I know that's something new you're working on. And what services you're going to offer there? And it's a separate location. Is that correct?
Yes. I've moved my practice out of the store, and I'm in a separate space down the street now. I felt the call for probably over a year to start a men's healing center. And I'm, as of this month, moving toward that. Promoting more of my services for men, beginning to limit some of my healing services just to men. We're in an amazing time in this world right now where we're trying to find the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and we can't work on one without the other. So, my goal is to help men heal and also spiritually heal, offer the healing modalities, but also going to be offering some group sessions as well.
That's great. And the one thing is, at your center, it's by appointment only, I'm assuming. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then do you do any online Zoom healing or work or anything that would like any kind of talk therapy with them or anything that they can access?
I have not until now, but I will be adding that soon.
Oh, great. That's very good. Do you feel this journey was worth it to open up a store and do all of the business aspects of it? Do you feel, I always ask every business owner this because I know what they're going to say, but at the same time, I just want to see if it was for you. Do you feel like this is something that you successfully accomplished for yourself?
I've loved every step of the journey. I would absolutely do it again. Walked out of that corporate world several years ago and took a chance and didn't look back. And I'm so glad I did it. Occasionally something will pop up and it'll make me remember my old corporate job, and I'm like, oh, I'm so glad to be out of there. I love what I do.
That's great. And the one thing about it is, for our listeners out there, how do people know about your business, and what's the best website to contact you, and information that they could use to find you?
So information on my store can be found at aromagregory.com. And then for my practice, to book an appointment with me for a session or reading, my website is spiritessentials.com.
And I'll be attaching all your information to the podcast as well as your bio. So it'll be all on the actual description of the podcast. So everybody could reach you there.
Sounds good.
But I greatly appreciate your time. And is there anything you want to include that I have forgot about for the interview of about you or your business or stores or any services that I may have forgot?
You know, my services are kind of separate from the store, but people can always contact me through there. When COVID hit, we had to close down our in-store tarot readings. And so we've brought up a new site, and a lot of our readers are coming back, and they're doing phone and Zoom readings now. So you can reach out to us, and we can tell you how to get in touch with some of the readers that we had. So we're trying to get all our practices back in different ways.
That's great. Have you done distance Reiki? I know some people have done distance Reiki and different styles of Reiki. Is that something that you work with?
Yes, I do distance Reiki. Yes. And I can schedule that for, any time of the day when people want to have it done.
For listeners out there, do you feel that some people shy away from tarot or Reiki because they're not comfortable with it? To kind of help them be more comfortable, there's no connection to anything that's non-spiritual. Is that correct? Or non-belief oriented?
That is correct. Reiki is just simply using all the universal energy around us to heal. It's not connected to any kind of religion or spirituality. It's completely safe for anybody.
Clear that up. I just wanted to make everyone listen to that, because a lot of people ask me that question, like, oh, does that deal with some kind of other thing that I'm not part of or not associated with?
No, not at all.
That's great. But it was awesome talking to you today, Roy. And I definitely encourage everybody to check out your online website, your store, and your services. I'll be coming to your office very soon as well for reflexology. Great. And also I know other people in the area that will as well. But thank you so much for sharing your wellness story and success with us. And you have anything else that you'd like to share, or you're good?
No, I'm good.
Thank you very much, Roy, and have a great day.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome.